Hello, beautiful ones, and welcome to another episode of Taking Time to Heal. So I hope everything is going well in your world, but today I wanted to talk to you about a topic that I feel like I need to give a bit of a warning on, because the truth is some of the most impactful things that we will learn in this lifetime, in my experience, and everything I know from a psychology point of view and a spiritual point of view, often they're quite hard to hear. And so as we go into today's topic, what I invite you to do is see if you can go into this with a sense of curiosity towards how your body is responding, a sense of curiosity to what your mind does as we talk this through. Because sometimes when we find a topic that challenges our current viewpoint, that challenges our little belief systems, our ego gets really loud. Because our ego doesn't like change, right? It wants to keep us in this small, confined prison, if I'm honest. It wants to keep us in this place of helplessness. It wants to relinquish responsibility. And so as we go into this today, I invite you to just notice if that comes up for you. And see if you can allow that to be there. But at the same time, stay with it, right? Don't let it control you. Don't let your ego be the master of you, instead of you being the master of it. So now we've got that out the way, let's go into the topic for today and see how you do respond to this. So today I wanted to talk to you about the kind of stickiness of victimhood. And, initially we might have that internal response of, oh no, I don't fall into this. I don't fall victim to anything. I'm a strong, powerful, independent woman. All of those things that perhaps we tell ourselves and want to believe about ourselves. And to a certain degree, I suspect that is true. I suspect there's many things that you do not allow yourself to fall victim to, that you don't allow yourself to get stuck in that role of victimhood. However, often these things can be somewhat hidden, a little bit sneaky, and they can be holding you back in so many different ways. So it really is an important topic for us to consider in relation to our own lives. And as we go through this, I'm going to give lots of examples, because when I use the word victim, I think initially we can think about big things, right? And that when I say big things, we might think about violent crimes. We might think about domestic abuse situations. We might think about, things that are trauma with a capital T. However, victimhood often plays a really, as I mentioned, like a sneaky role in our lives. And so if we don't take the time to acknowledge where we're relinquishing responsibility for our lives, our circumstances, what's possible for us, then we will continue to play that out and nothing changes, right? Change happens when we decide that we no longer wish to stay still. So what do I mean by victimhood? Let's start there. Well, victimhood is, like I say, that state where we relinquish our responsibility towards a certain area of our life. Now, don't get me wrong, there may be some circumstances, there may be some things that we are experiencing that we have little control over. That doesn't mean we have to fall victim to those things. So let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about. So often when I start coaching with a new client, there will be things that come up in our conversation where they're labeling themselves as a victim to something. They may see themselves as a victim to their health, a victim in their financial situation, a victim to where they can live, or what they can do, or what they're allowed to do in their life because of their age, or because they have children, or because they have limited financial resources, or because they have limited time. So they start to draw on these things as an excuse. And that's what it comes down to. I know that may sound harsh to some of us, but the truth is, there are many other people in this world, on this planet, that have or have had similar situations and have chosen to do something else with it. So, for example, often money is something that I'm going to be supporting you guys with in a free course soon, because I have had an unbelievable amount of messages recently from people in regards to money. So what I mean by that is, like, I would love to do this course, but I haven't got the money. I would love to do this thing, but I can't get a job because my health's not very good, and therefore I haven't got the funds to pay you. And I wanted to just start to unpack some of this, because not only does it show up in that world of money, right? It also shows up in other areas of our life. And this is like we will often find this victimhood of circumstance will spill out into other areas. So initially you might just feel that way about money, and then it turns into, oh, my relationships, I'd love to do that thing, but my husband won't let me, or I would love to have a better relationship, but my husband's not built that way, or I would love to do that kind of, go down that career path, but I've got kids and I can't do that. So as we go into this, I would invite you to start thinking about, what are those can'ts for you? What are those things that you're saying, I would love to, but I wish I could, but, right? Because these will start pointing the arrows to the areas in which you're playing victim. Now, you may think this word is a little bit harsh, but I think sometimes we need to acknowledge exactly what we're doing in order to make that change. And sometimes that is taking those rose-tinted glasses off. It is stepping away from the ego, this beautiful little identity that we've created for ourselves, that we would love to believe that we're that person all the time. And get real with where we're at, and get real with those areas where we're making excuses and, perhaps feeling sorry for ourselves, when in reality, you have an enormous amount of power. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some things we have very limited power around, right? When it comes to controlling other people, right? You can't control others. You can't change other people. You can That's interesting. There's some things that we can do around that without sounding too manipulative. But, there's some things that fall outside of our realm of control. We have some things when it comes to our health that we certainly can control, right? We can control our diet. We can control how much we move our body. We can control what we're doing around things like sleep hygiene. We can control the supplements and the herbal products that we choose to take. We can control a huge variety of different things, like our ability to manage stress and to choose how we're perceiving the challenges in our life so we don't actually get the stress. So there's so many elements that we can control in regards to, say, our health before we can fall victim to it. And like I mentioned, money is one that seems to be coming up for a lot of people right now. And I think the reason it's coming up is because we've got access to more excuse at the moment, right? We've got access to the fact that there's, financially, the country isn't doing very, very well, or the world generally. But the truth is, there's also a lot of people that are financially doing very well indeed. There is more billionaires now than there's ever been. And I know that's likely to trigger a few of you, right? You might have a lot of thoughts around that. You might have a lot of opinions around whether people should be billionaires or not. I know there's been something, I think it was Billie Eilish made a speech to a group of billionaires recently, talking about how they should give all their money away. And I know there's a lot of people that would look at Billie Eilish and go, well, you can talk. So I get this, right? We have many different opinions and also excuses when it comes to money. And there are many different factors that may affect our financial income. But the truth is, there has never been an easier time to make money, ever. Again, I'm sure there's many of you that are going, well, that's easy for you to say. You're not trying to get a job at the moment. You're not trying to X, Y, and Z. But again, this can highlight where we're putting limitations on ourselves around how that should look, what that should be, what I have available to us. I look back to like my mum's generation, and it really was that black and white, right? You had to get a job. You had to have you didn't actually have to get a job, but it was a lot harder around, even entering the workforce was a lot harder. If you wanted a job that paid particularly well, you needed a degree. There were, I would argue in many ways, a lot more limitations. However, we live at a time where we have so much more choice. It is far easier to get the qualifications that we need to get those well-paying jobs, those better careers. It is far easier to actually make money without even getting a job. All of us have access to this, like, high street in our home where we can actually talk to people and say, oh, I've got this product to offer, or I've got this service to offer. There's this thing I can help you with. There's this thing that I really enjoy doing, and I just wondered if anyone would be interested in buying it. And I know for some of you, this may seem like I'm oversimplifying this, but actually I want to give you an example here of like someone that's very close to me, which is my eldest daughter. And I am super proud of all of my children, and I feel like I need to say that. But one of the things that she did, so she is 20, and last year she had an apprenticeship. She's got an apprenticeship and she's still doing her apprenticeship. But she figured out that if she wanted to move out, given the price of rents and things now, then she would need to have a secondary form of income. Because, apprenticeship wages don't pay a lot, but that was still really important for her, and that's something she wanted to do. She also was paying for her own degree at the time, and so she just wanted a secondary source of income that would allow her to have a bit of extra money in the bank, pay for everything she wanted to do, pay for her qualifications, and know that she could get that have that extra income to move out, which was her ultimate goal. And what I would like to say is, hopefully I've created a loving home, but she's 20 and she's ready to fly now, right? She doesn't want to be in the family home. She's ready for that next stage of independence. So completely off her own back. She is very good at math, my eldest daughter, which many of you might be surprised about, knowing my math skills on occasion. However, she is very good at math. And so she did this, I'm, like I say, I feel like the need to keep saying how proud I am of her. But so she sat down, she looked at her skills, she looked at what she was good at, she looked at what she enjoyed, and one of the routes she went down was offering math tuition to children that are going through their GCSEs. And when I say she looked at this properly. She looked at what she would need in terms of insurance. She would look at what she needed in terms of qualifications. She looked at how she could possibly run that. She also looked at, how she could actually deliver the best possible service for, kids going through their GCSEs that are really struggling. And over the past, I think it's I think it was about December last year that she started. She created herself a website. She created herself a Facebook page. She created a list of services of what she could offer, and she got the insurance and did that side of things. And she started to put it out there on our local Facebook groups and community pages, and I think she even put up like a few cards and things in like news agents and things like that. Before she knew it, she was having to create a wait list because she had too many that she could possibly fit in around her already job and her degree. And she has absolutely created a beautiful little business. She is getting gorgeous feedback. But what I also love is the fact that she comes home and she's like, "Oh, Mum, you won't believe it, but this tutee that I've been tutoring, when I first started working with her, she was like getting ungraded. She couldn't even sit through the exam, and now she's getting this." And I see that kind of pride in her, that sense of, oh my gosh, I did that thing to help this girl. Or I think actually, funny enough, all her students are girls. And that sense of confidence that it has given her has been unbelievably beautiful to watch. Now, like any late teen, she wasn't the most confident, right? She was at that age where she was still figuring stuff out, where she was still trying to figure out if she could do this. And we did have a couple of conversations at the time, and I said, "Look, what have you got to lose? Seriously, what have you got to lose?" And she made that decision to put herself out there, to make a go at this. And in a really short space of time, she had that additional financial income coming in. And I feel like I really want to stress this point, and it gave her so much more. like I say, it gave her that confidence boost. It gave her that sense of, oh my gosh, I'm helping people. And that sense of giving back felt, I've seen in her just how important that has been, that sense of, I am useful. I have something to give. I have an ability that can actually help other people. Now, the other thing I want to say about this is she also didn't go into it with too much expectation. Do you know what I mean? She didn't go in with this level of, this is what failure looks like and this is what success looks like. Don't get me wrong, she had goals. She had those goals of, I would quite like to have two clients initially, see how that goes, offer it at a low price while I'm still learning and still figuring out how to do this, and while I'm still, creating the best resources. And you know what she has created, amazing handouts and amazing resources that kids can actually take away. And she was telling me the other day how she's created like 4 different ways of teaching the same thing, because what she'd noticed with working with these students is that for some things it clicked that way, for some things it clicked that way. And so she has this constant sense of evaluation of, right, okay, is this working, is this not working, can I tweak this, can I improve this? And not from the sense of, I just want to make money, but from the sense of, I genuinely want to offer a service that's going to be useful and is going to be helpful and is going to have a beautiful impact. And because she's done that, what she has noticed is that word of mouth has got out. Most of her clients now, I say clients, students, come from referrals. She is always getting phone calls now from people saying, oh, I was talking to such and such's mum and I heard you've been helping her daughter and I wondered if you might have space for mine. And so, as I said, she's now got this long wait list of students. Now, the other thing that's worth noting is this wasn't her only avenue. Right? This wasn't her only idea to make extra money. So at the same time as doing this, my daughter also loves knitting and crochet and crafting. She's amazing at so many things. And so she's also been knitting hats, and they're beautiful. I really love them. And I keep telling her, you should get like an Etsy shop because they're so gorgeous. But she's been knitting hats, and she's been going and she's been taking her little brother, who is really enjoying the whole entrepreneurial thing as well. She's been taking her brother with her to local craft fairs and selling these hats and these scarves and creating a little bit of extra money that way. Now, the tutoring side has been far more lucrative than the hat side. However, I loved the fact that she didn't just put everything into one avenue and make it this big ego trip, which is often what I see with many adults, right? They put all their energy into one thing and it also becomes very personal. And I think this is where we can trip ourselves up. And I wonder whether that's a topic for another day. Yeah, in fact, I am going to park that and we're going to go into that another day. We'll look at the difference between looking at the hang-ups we can have around the word failure and what that really means, and why that is just such an unhelpful concept when we're trying to do anything new, right? But for now, back to victimhood. I wanted to share that little story with you because she has completely shown this accountability is the word I want to use. It's accountability, responsibility for where she is financially. And, it would have been so easy for her to go, oh, well, I just don't have the money because I've got an apprenticeship wage and that's the way it is. I've just got to accept it. And how often do we do that, right? Oh, well, I can't go out and get another job because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, well, I can't make any money at the moment because my health's not very good. Oh, well, and many of you know one of the reasons I started this business was not only to share everything I learned along my own health journey with my multiple health conditions, but also to create a life that worked with my health, right? Because I was getting to that point in my health journey where it just felt like what I was doing in the workplace wasn't sustainable for my health, for managing my condition, for making sure that I looked after myself. And so this was one of the ways that I was taking ownership for me to be able to meet my needs, both financially, but also from a health point of view, right? When I'm working for myself, I can work with my energy levels, I can plan my days around that, I can make sure I've got that time in the morning that often I need to warm up my body and get it moving properly and, overcome any pain and discomfort that I'm experiencing. So lovelies. Bit of a waffly one today, I feel like. But I hope today has given you a little bit of an insight into the traps that we can fall into around victimhood and those things that we can use as excuses as to why we can't have the thing that we want or need. So I invite you to take some time today in your journal and get really honest with yourself, right? Where are those areas that you're playing the victim? Is it to your finances, like the story that I shared today? Is it to your health? Is it to your relationships, right? It's another one that we can fall into. And lay it all out on the paper and start to think, okay, what are the areas that would have the biggest impact, the most positive impact on me if I stopped making excuses and found a way? Because there's always a way. I can remember my mum used to say when I was growing up, where there's a will, there's a way. And you know what? It did stick with me because I often find, even now, when I come across a block or a challenge or someone telling me I can't, I do love it when someone tells me I can't, because that's probably one of my biggest motivators. I get this internal sense of just watch me, right? Just watch me. But get it all down on paper. What are those areas? What would make the biggest impact if you could find some change? And start to think about what could it be, without getting attached to, oh, it's got to be this thing, I've got to buy into this, and getting caught up in the how or the detail. But what could be possible? Keep it quite open. You don't have to commit to anything, right? Keep it quite open. Play in that realm of expansiveness, that realm of possibility, without getting too tied into, oh, it's got to be this way and it's got to be that way, right? Put it all down. And then start to think about, okay, well, what could I play with here? What could I give a go with not putting too much attachment into it's got to work, or if it doesn't work, I'm a failure, or, these kind of where we do the A plus B equals Z, right? Because it's never that. That's all ego stuff, right? Our ego likes to work in the realm of limitation. It likes to work in the realm of scarcity, in the realm of lack, in the realm of I'm the victim, right? All of this is happening to me, rather than an alternative viewpoint, an alternative belief is, what if this has all happened for me? What if I'm here because this challenge, this is an opportunity for me to grow. This is an opportunity for me to learn. This is an opportunity for me to try something new that might actually open up doors to things that I had never imagined, right? Which has certainly been my experience. The more that I can allow myself to just give something a go, play around with that, give that a try without too much attachment of what that should definitely look like as I'm doing it and what that would mean, and getting all sucked up into the kind of lack. It is that mindset of lack. And instead, give yourself the gift of looking at your challenges as your opportunities. Now, I would love to hear from you on this. I know this might bring stuff up for you. And so if you have anything you want to share with me, or any further questions around this, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at hello@hollyboulle.com. Holly with a Y, Boulle is spelled Boulle. And I will put that in the show notes as well. But what I would say is, happy playing in the realm of possibility. This is the perfect time of year to be doing it, as we come into this dormancy period where we start to really think about, what are the seeds that I want to plant for this year? And give yourself permission to step outside that limited sense of identity, that limited sense of ego, that limited sense of your conditions, and just have a look at what's possible. All right, lovelies, wishing you a gorgeous week, and I will be back here again next week to share some more with you. Take care.